Today, Donald Trump is taking to Twitter to attack Marco Rubio after a very heated debate last night. Earlier, the billionaire tweeted, "Lightweight Marco Rubio was working hard last night. The problem is he's a choker, and once a choker, always a choker. Mr. Meltdown."
A couple of misspelled words there. Meanwhile, both Senators Rubio and Ted Cruz took off the gloves and held nothing back. They hit the front runner on everything from health care to immigration.
Well, you're the only person on the stage that's ever been fined for hiring people to work on your projects illegally. You hired some workers from Poland.
I'm the only one on the stage that's hired people. You haven't hired anybody.
He said, "I'm not going to pay for that, quote, effing wall."
This guy used a filthy, disgusting word on television, and he should be ashamed of himself, and he should apologize. The wall is $10 billion to $12 billion if I do it. If these guys do it, it'll end up costing $200 billion.
If he builds the wall the way he built Trump Towers, he'll be using illegal immigrant labor to do it.
I got along with everybody. You get along with nobody. You don't have one Republican. You don't have one Republican senator, and you work with them every day of your life, although you skipped a lot of time. These are minor details.
You know, I actually think Donald is right. He is promising if he's elected, he will go and cut deals in Washington, and he's right. He has supported, he has given hundreds of thousands of dollars to Democrats.
This is Robin Hood over here. He talks about corruption on his financial disclosure form. He didn't even put that he's borrowed money from Citibank and from Goldman Sachs. The insurance companies take care of the politicians. The insurance companies get what they want. We should have gotten rid of the lines around each state so we can have real competition.
So that's the only part of the plan? Just the lines, the interstate competition?
No, the nice part about the plan, you have many different plans. You'll have competition. You'll have so many different plans.
But now he's repeating himself.
No, I'm not repeating. No. I don't repeat myself.
You don't repeat yourself.
Here's the guy who repeats himself.
Let's talk about your
plan. I see him repeat himself every night. It says 5 things. Everyone's dumb. He's going to make America great again. We're going to win, win, win. He's winning in the polls. And the lines around the state. Every night. Same thing.
Shortly after the debate, our chief White House correspondent Major Garrett caught up with Trump after being attacked on policy specifics all night. Major asked the billionaire if there are any subjects on which he could improve.
Is there anything about your experience tonight that tells you it would be worth your time to brush up more on the substance of either entitlements, health care, Israeli-Palestinian, any of those issues?
I think I did great on every subject tonight. Look, I'm winning every single online poll by a lot. I think I did really well. No, I don't think so. I will say on health care, you're going to bid it out, and we're going to have, once you get rid of the lines, you're going to bid it out. We're going to have so many different plans. It's going to be incredible. It's going to be private plans, and it will be incredible, and it'll be a lot less expensive and a lot better.
Susan Ferricchio from the Washington Examiner is with us now from Washington, D.C. Susan, you just heard a very, very confident Donald Trump. Though many people say Marco Rubio won the debate, the question is, can Mr. Trump continue down the path that he has? And if Marco Rubio did, in fact, win the debate, does it matter?
Well, you're right. Confident is the word when it comes to Donald Trump. First of all, you're right. He took some really strong, powerful hits from Marco Rubio. That was a significant moment when Rubio hit him hard on Trump's lack of detail and ideas and proposals and generalities. I think Rubio was very strong there. He redeemed himself for his own problem with repeating himself during the prior debate. So it was a great moment for Rubio, and it showed Trump being somewhat flustered. It knocked Trump off his game a little bit, which you don't see very often. But Trump, as you say, is very confident. As soon as that debate ended, he was in the spin room talking about what a great performance he put on. You would almost think that he really did have a great performance by his response in the spin room. And that's something that Trump is expert at. He is able to take anything and turn it around as a win for himself. And we see that's working in the polls because these debates have so far not had a really powerful effect on Trump's poll numbers. He manages to walk away relatively unscathed, although I would argue most of his debate performances have not been super strong. He's had a couple good ones, but often he's caught off guard with questions about his policies and the lack of detail, and about some of the oppositional research that Rubio did last night on Trump's his university, his bankruptcies, his hiring of illegal workers. Clearly, they knocked Trump off his game a little bit. And as you say, the big question is, what impact, if any, will this have on Trump's poll numbers as we head into Super Tuesday?
Susan, Rubio really stepped up his attacks on Trump last night, as we all saw, hitting him hard on a variety of issues. But is it too little too late?
That is the most important question. What will happen with Rubio now that he had this really powerful performance? It was a do-or-die night for him, and he really did succeed. But he hasn't won anything yet. Here we are moving into Super Tuesday. He's not won a state yet. That's a big problem. He only has 17 delegates. Trump has 81. Super Tuesday is looking like Trump is going to again come out ahead of everybody. And so you have Rubio moving along as the top alternative to Trump at this point. You have a lot of the mainstream GOP gathering behind him, but he hasn't won anything. And that's a big question moving forward. He needs to start winning. And will that debate boost him enough to knock Trump off in one of these states where Rubio can walk away from Super Tuesday with some kind of win? Because beyond Super Tuesday, Rubio has his sights on his home state of Florida. The problem there is all the polls have Trump beating him in his home state. So Rubio looked good in the debate, and he's got a lot of mainstream support behind him within the GOP. They think he's their man. Now that Jeb Bush is out, Rubio is the guy. But he has to start winning. This is a game of winning delegates. And if you're not winning any states and you're only getting a smattering of delegates here and there, you're simply not going to be the nominee. So these next few weeks are so critical to Marco Rubio. We begin with Super Tuesday. If he walks away from Super Tuesday with 0, it's going to make him even more vulnerable, more weak for his home state primary on the 15th. So this March 1 event is going to be a big deal for Rubio. Will this debate give him a leg up on Super Tuesday?
Let's turn to Ted Cruz. He also went on the attack last night. Now, he is counting on winning the Texas primary because there are 155 delegates at stake. But since it's not a winner-take-all, how does he, or how much does he have to win by those delegates to make them count?
Again, that's a great question. We don't get into winner-take-all until mid-March. So right now, you've got Texas, the biggest jewel of the delegate states, 155 delegates. Again, you don't get them all if you win. It's proportional. So if Trump does well, if you look at the poll numbers, Trump and Cruz are not that far apart in the polls. Cruz is leading in some, they're closer in others. Trump could do very well there. Cruz is more popular in his home state than Rubio is in his home state of Florida. I expect Cruz to get to win in Texas. That's what most people are predicting right now. And he will get the majority of delegates. He won't get 155 delegates. He will get some. Another proportion of them will go to Trump. And Trump is already ahead of Cruz in the delegate count by 81 to 17. So if Trump gets half of those delegates, again, he is way ahead of Ted Cruz, and Cruz has to ask, where does he go beyond Texas? He has not been doing as well as expected in the southern states with a strong evangelical vote. Trump is beating him amongst evangelical voters, and that makes it a murkier path forward for Cruz beyond his home state of Texas. He needs to win big in Texas, but even after that, if he does succeed there are still big questions on how he really becomes viable against the juggernaut of Trump and all the delegates he's racked up so far.
Exciting stuff. Susan Ferriccio from the Washington Examiner, thank you so much.
Thanks a lot.